Hey guys, it's Beth, and today I just thought I'd share with you some of the things that I put in my Cards for Soldiers box. I was getting ready to pack one up and ship it out, and just thought I would kind of share with you what I include and some of the other things that you guys could include. I know a lot of you have started donating your cards to Cards for Soldiers, and thank you so much. I appreciate it. I know Charlie at Cards for Soldiers appreciates it. And I know a lot of you have had questions on it in the past, so I just thought I would kind of try and answer some of your questions about what you can include, and then include some more links in the description box that will give you more information as well. So first and foremost, kind of what I include are my handmade cards. So I do general kind of themed cards, and then right now she is looking for fall holidays, so I have a bunch of Halloween and just general fall, some Thanksgiving cards. And these are actually, this was from a paper pad that I used up late last summer. I didn't get them done in time to include for last fall, so I just kind of held on to them, and I'm going to send them for this fall. And then, like I said, general themed cards, thinking of you, birthday, congratulations, love you, those are accepted all throughout the year. And really, you can send any card throughout the year and she will just save them until she needs them. But right now, she is specifically looking for fall holidays and then, general themed. And then the other handmade thing that I tend to send are bookmarks. So I've done their little corner bookmarks where you kind of fold the paper, and then it's got the little flap that will sit over a page. I don't have any of those right now, but then I have two different kind of like long bookmarks. This one is just double-sided paper that was laminated. This one is paper that was glued onto the cardboard from the back of a paper pad. So different ways that you can kind of use some of your paper and other supplies in your stash to make something fun for the soldiers. And then some non-crafted items that I include. I always try to include some candy, like a little sweet treat for the soldiers. You can send anything non-meltable. So I tend to stick to hard candy just because I know it's not going to melt, because some of these boxes go to very desert places, so it's very hot and dry, or sometimes very hot and humid depending on where they are. So you want to make sure you send something that's not going to melt. So gum, something I include, just different hard candies. Like this was from the Dollar Tree. My daughters picked out this one from the Dollar Tree. They thought it looked fun with all the different flavors in there. Kroger had these butterscotch bags on sale for like 50 cents a few weeks ago, so I snagged a bunch of those to have on hand. And then another fun treat that I can like to send is just some drink mixes. So this could be any type of drink mix powder that they can put into a bottle of water. So Weiler's, Kool-Aid, I think Tang has some, Propel, Crystal Light, any of those that they can put into a bottle of water and shake it up, and it gives them some flavor and helps them to stay hydrated. And then I also like to include another like fun activity for them. So playing cards are great. There's so many different things you can do with playing cards. They don't have to be brand new, they just have to be like new. Paperback books. I don't buy many books for myself. I usually get them from the library or like do an ebook. But if I'm at a garage sale and find some nice looking books, for a good price, I will buy a bunch of those and include those in the boxes. Gives them something to do. Like new or new notebooks. How many of us paper crafters are also stationery addicts? And so we have tons of notebooks that we've collected over the years. Or you get these notebooks for free from different events, and as long as they are not used, they can be included, and you can include like a pen or marker, something that they can use to write with. Recent magazines. So rather than throwing your magazines into a recycle bin when you're done, you can include those. And I try to include, like Car and Driver might be best for a guy, but National Geographic, Reader's Digest, those can be for anybody. And sometimes I will throw in a like Women's Health if I have it, just because you have male and female soldiers. So I try to not do just one type of magazine. And these are great fillers too. I use them at the bottom of my box and the top of the box that I send, just to kind of protect what's inside. So the magazines are kind of twofold. Pens are great because they can use them for some of the activities that you sent. And something that I don't have are like the puzzle books, like Sudoku, crossword, search word, things like that, would be great. Again, as long as they are like new, not used, you can send those. And then the pens can be used for those notebooks, activity books. And then Charlie also includes pens with each packet of cards that she sends over, just because they may not have access to a good, writing utensil. So you can, it doesn't have to be, again, doesn't have to be new pens. You can, if you have a junk drawer full of pens or permanent markers, things like that, as long as they work and work well, you can donate those. I got this box from Amazon. Last week they had it on sale for $3. Several times throughout the year they'll have it on sale. Sometimes it's an add-on item, so as long as you are ordering $25 or more, you can buy it for that $3 price. Otherwise it just won't ship until you have, $25 or more. Back to school supplies are on sale right now. It's a great time to stock up. I think last year at Office Depot, I think I found like a pack of 10 pens. I got them for a penny. So I bought as many as they would let me buy. Mechanical pencils, permanent markers, just anything that they could use that they don't have to sharpen. Any type of writing utensil that they could use, colored pencils or markers that they could color with, I guess not colored pencils, but the markers that they could color with, so that, they could draw using the notebooks that you sent them. And again, notebooks would also be on sale right now with school supplies, so you could always snag some there. Then there's also some administrative, before I jump to that, personal care items. Travel size personal care items like toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoos, conditioners, deodorants. Those are always very welcome. They don't always have access to replenish those. If you do ship those, then they need to be inside a sealed plastic bag, just so that in case they would leak, they're not going to affect anything else that you're sending. Administrative items that Charlie needs. Baggies. She always uses baggies to separate everything in the boxes. So like she will do 25 cards per baggie, or she'll put the bookmarks in a baggie. Just everything that she sends, she kind of separates them by baggie in a box. So she can use quart size, gallon size baggies. She wants you to ship your cards, like to separate them by theme. And so rather than rubber band them, I just stick them in a baggie that then she can reuse when she's shipping out. Random size envelopes. She always likes to have these on hand because sometimes people send cards without envelopes, so she has to provide an envelope, or sometimes the envelope will seal based on the heat, her humidity, on its way to her, the envelope may seal, and so then she can, find a new envelope for that. She also has an Amazon wish list with some other things on it, like printer ink, packing tape, pens, labels, different things like that. And I will include that Amazon wish list link in the description box below. And then monetary donations. Charlie pays for a lot of this out of her pocket. So the shipping cost to send a box overseas to a base, she pays for that either out of her pocket or through donations from us. So monetary donations are always accepted as well. And then crafting supplies. So if you have card making supplies that you're not using, that you've thought about destashing rather than selling them, or just donating them to Goodwill or whatever, she can also use those either to make cards herself, because she does like little card making parties throughout the month with different groups in her area where they can make cards for soldiers. And then she also sometimes sends packet of card supplies to a base. Like the base may want to do some type of card making event of their own. I think they do it at Mother's Day especially. So sometimes they make their own cards, and so she uses those donated supplies to send those to a base. So card making supplies are also accepted. And then just kind of some notes about cards that you send. Like I said, she asks that you separate them by theme. And so, like I said, I just stick mine in a baggie. And that every time you send a card, just stick the envelope inside the card. Because like I said, sometimes the heat and humidity can make an envelope seal. So like here, for when I store my cards at my house, I tend to store them like this, with the flap kind of inside the card. If you were to send it like that and it would seal, then the envelope seal is going to seal to the card, and then the card and envelope are both ruined. But if you just stick the envelope inside the card, if the envelope should happen to seal, then it's just the envelope, like your beautiful card is still fully intact. So that's something important to note, is stick the envelope inside the card. If you use those clear poly bags to store your cards in, you can ship them in those as well. You also just need to separate them by theme and include them all together in a bundle by theme. You can put labels on the back if you'd like. Like mine has, I don't know if that's going to focus. Mine has my name, my personal email address, and then the Facebook group for Cards for Soldiers link, just because sometimes the soldiers want to request new cards or, you know, new batches of cards, and then sometimes they like to send a thank you to whoever made the card. So it's kind of nice to include your personal information. And then it doesn't have to be just handmade cards. Like, you can also send store-bought or those cards you get in the mail from charities throughout the year. She will use the non-handmade cards just to kind of fill in. Like, say she's sending 25 birthday cards in a packet and she only has 23 handmade, she will stick in 2, you know, non-handmade cards as well. And then another way you can use the cards, like if you have store-bought cards that you're not using that don't have a specific theme, or the cards that you get, like I said, from the charities, I will use, if it's blank inside or like a thinking of you or thank you card, I will use those and the Christmas cards that I get to send a note to a soldier. It's just kind of a thank you for your service. And then at Christmas time, it's thanking them for their service and then, you know, sending them some holiday wishes. So you can also use your handmade and non-handmade cards for that as well. Another example of sending a handmade note, I did a video where I showed you guys how I made a bunch of cards using this red, white, and blue paper from the All Seasons 3 pad that I've been working on using up. And so I made it some patriotic thank you cards, and then actually wrote a note on the inside just saying, you know, thank you for your service, for all of your sacrifices. We are thinking of you and praying for you. And then these would actually go in an envelope, not sealed. Just because they like to check them and make sure that the messages inside of them are pleasant. Unfortunately, there are some people who have sent non-pleasant messages, so you would put them in an envelope that says for a soldier, to a hero, whatever, and then don't seal it. I think that's it. As far as boxes and shipping, if you are just sending a small quantity, you could use a padded envelope. I don't remember the specifics on like just the brown padded envelopes, what the weight restriction is on that. Less than a pound, maybe. You can also use the flat rate padded envelopes from UPS, or not from the USPS, the post office. I believe those are like $7 to $8, and you can do a higher weight. It just has to, you know, fit in the envelope. There are other flat rate options that the post office provides, like boxes for small, medium, large. I use regional rate B boxes. I don't know if I can show you very well, but this is regional rate B. They also have a regional rate A, which is smaller. This is the bigger version, and I tend to use this because it's a decent size, and I can send 2 regional rate B boxes for the same price that I could send a flat rate large box, and fit more in those 2 regional rate B boxes. So that's kind of what I tend to do, but you kind of need to evaluate how much you're sending and, you know, the weight of it. You could also just use, you know, any box that you have on hand, just depending on the weight. Sometimes it's cheaper to use the flat rate boxes from the post office. So be sure to look into that before you're shipping if you haven't already. But I think that's it. Like I said, I will include the Amazon wish list in the description box below. And I will also include a link to her Facebook group, which kind of her Facebook group is where she lives as far as providing information. Like, she does have a website that has general information, and that's what I tend to give out to most people. But on the Facebook group, if you join, then she kind of lets you know what cards she's looking for, or any special needs that she has for shipments that need to go out, if she's short on postage funds, if there are any card making events that, you know, she needs donations for, just all kinds of things. She kind of keeps everybody posted on what's going on, what she needs on that Facebook group. And then also something fun that she does is all the cards that people donate, you know, that send to her, for her to send to the soldiers, she posts pictures. So you get to see all the cards that everybody else has made. Kind of gives you just some ideas, some inspiration, and it's just always fun to see, you know, as a card maker, you always like seeing other handmade cards. So that's a fun part of the Facebook group. So you would, you know, if you're interested, you can join that. And as far as restrictions on what you can put on a card, no glitter, no loose embellishments. Like if you're using a gem that already has adhesive on it, I would actually suggest adding adhesive to it, because the glue, there's not always a whole lot of glue, and sometimes it's not very good. So you just need to make sure that like nothing can fall off the card, no loose glitter, nothing. I have glitter paper, like as long as it's glitter in the paper. I have embossed with glitter before, something that's just not loose and not just going to brush off. So that is something to be aware of. Other than that, you can include like religious-based messages. Those are accepted. Like I said, any holiday, any theme. And it, you know, if it doesn't have to be paper-based cards, you could make a card where you've done drawing on it. Like there's a lot of people that are great artists that have drawn on a card front or colored on a card front, did watercolor on a card front. So kind of possibilities are endless as to what kind of cards you can make. And then tons of stuff, non-cards, that you can donate as well. So hopefully that has answered most of your questions. If not, please let me know and I will be happy to answer them. And like I said, you can also find more information in the links that I will include in the description box as well. But thanks so much for watching today, guys. Thanks for learning about cards for soldiers. And again, thank you to all who have started to donate. So appreciate it. I'm so glad that you guys have joined us. It's a great outlet for our handmade cards because we tend to make more than we could ever use. So this is a great outlet, not only for us to use those cards, but for somebody else to benefit from them as well. You're blessing others. So again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a crafty rest of your day.